Welcome, everyone. I just want to provide a few insights on the activities and labs that we have coming up this week, just so we're headed in the right direction and maybe address some common points of confusion from the past. All right. So as we work on Module 0 activities, right, we'll start there. Again, this is more of an activity format, so you can do it on digital paper, physical paper, other paper, right? Just make sure to identify what you're working on if that's the case. But here in activity 1, the this exercise, this prompt here is a little bit tricky. I'm going to admit, because the language is super sensitive, and that's the point that I'm trying to make with this activity is you need to get the details correctly. Or the details correct. I will say that we need to figure out, what is the default idea, the default belief. I will say that 30% is important here, but there's a lot that's connected to that, right? So in writing your null and alternative hypothesis, make sure to involve the 30%, but capture all the details related to that 30% correctly. Okay, and so that one can be a little tricky. Again, the discussion boards are there. If you get stuck, ask your classmates, ask me. I try and hop on there daily as much as possible to respond to questions and comments. So take your time. That one can be a little sensitive. Second one, same context, but now you're thinking about the different variable types. And I note here that there's not one like a single correct answer that I'm looking for. So this is meant to be like, I think. So explanatory response is maybe a little bit more pigeonholed. Like there's probably there are fewer correct answers there, but the rest of the ideas about levels, streaming groups, control group, right? That could be a little bit more variable. Okay, so just know that there could be many correct answers. Activity 3, typically not too bad. This one is meant to make use of that test tree, right? So you're writing out the hypothesis test, null and alternative, in words or symbols. I give you the option. You don't have to do both. If you want to, great. And then, say, in this situation, we should use a ANOVA or something like that, right? So just identify it and you don't need to explain further. Okay. And the fourth one here, this is, type 1 and type 2 error in context, right? So we don't know what decision was made, but we're just imagining what the error could be for each of these. And then consequences is like, okay, well, type 1 error was made, this is what it is. What could happen if that was made? Okay. So that one is, again, highly variable, but make sure to describe as much as you can. Okay. Now, that's Module 0. That's one thing that's due coming up. Then the next thing is the Excel lab for Chapter 1. And this is where we're going to make all the charts and all the pretty charts, right? So as you open it, you get one screen, and then you have exercises A and B, right? But it says at the top, right, there are multiple sheets. So make sure to do all the sheets because otherwise you're going to lose some points. So down on the bottom, there's sheet 2, 3, 4, and you're like, oh my gosh, does this thing ever end? And yes, it does with 7. And you'll find that as you get going, as you get better at navigating and using Excel, it goes quickly, or things go along at a faster pace, okay? Because generally each sheet you have to produce one chart, and then you're pretty much done, okay? The last sheet, optional practice, is indeed optional because there's some sensitive things in there. So if you don't look at it, don't complete it, that's fine. It's just if you want more practice with Excel because you want to, hone your skills, please feel free to do that optional practice. And even on sheet, oh gosh, which one is it? 2, 3. 3, there it is. There is an optional here too. If you want to do that, in the histogram videos, there was an optional video, right? And part B uses that method from that video. So kind of have that video open as you work through part B. Okay, but any general expectations here, this stuff generally goes pretty well. I will say that if students, quote unquote, lose points or, get feedback, it's generally on not having enough detail, right? So don't say, for example, we went through the video assignment and I said, don't write just time, right? You need time spent on social media, right? So all those details matter. Capture all those details in whatever response you're composing. Okay, so histogram, right? Histogram up for title, axis titles, right? And this class width is the only thing that could be a little tricky. And if you go back to the video assignment, I showed you how to do it on a PC. On a Mac, what I would recommend to get that bin width option to appear is click off the graph. Okay, step one. Step two, click the bars of the graph. Okay, and then that side panel should pop up. Okay, if that side panel is already up, close it, and then click off the graph. Click on the graph, double click the bars, and it should pop up on the side for a Mac. Okay. And then with that, we should be good to go. Time plots, trend, and then, this first one, read the hint very carefully, and it should work for you. Okay? And also, nope, that's it. That's it. Just read the hint very carefully, and then if you need to pretty up a graph, I'll just show you, for instance, here. I'm not doing this correctly, but I'll just show you. So if we're inserting, this is going to be a line graph. If we need to, label data, there is in the ribbon, in the chart design tab, there is the select data feature, and then you can go in and change these. So edit horizontal axis categories. So you'd edit and then highlight what you need to highlight, or you can replace them one by one. Don't recommend that, but on the series you can add it. So you could do select average there for series name, and then what you notice, it doesn't show here so well, but usually a legend pops up when you have multiple data sets open that allows you to change the title of series 1 or something on there. Okay, and for horizontal axis you can just drag over, click and drag over, and something like that, except I gotta, okay, hang on, technical issue. My chart is in the way from selecting December, so now I'm going to go back in, select data, edit horizontal axis categories, and drag over those months. And then you can see that they appeared along the horizontal axis, which is what I want, okay, instead of 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so might need to pause this video, rewind it, rewatch it to get that kind of skill down, but just a few different formatting features that really help communicate a graph's features accurately. Okay, and with that, let's see, sheet 6 and 7, nothing that has typically been a stumbling block in the past. But again, if you run into issues, email me, go on the discussion boards, or I don't have any more Just Ask this week, but you can always pop in at a later session to kind of walk through that process. All right, have fun, and I hope you enjoy these activities practicing our newfound skills in statistics.